Liverpool have just beaten Brentford 3-0 at Anfield, capping a fine display from the Reds, and now seeing us go into the international break with 27 points in the league. We're guaranteed to be second place and at least within 3 points of City if they do go on to beat Chelsea in the game going on currently at the time of this recording. But really solid display from the Reds. Much needed as well off the back of two poor results against Toulouse and Luton earlier in the week. And yeah, against a Brentford side who are no pushovers themselves, particularly in these games against the big teams, they always come and cause issues. They've taken points of Tottenham and Chelsea already this season, and they caused problems at Old Trafford and St James's Park as well. Did the double over City last season and embarrassed us at their ground last season, so by no means an easy game or a straightforward one, just even at Anfield for us. So really impressive from Liverpool to come in and take this one away from them. And yeah, it's just much needed. Brentford were on a roll themselves, 3 wins in a row in the league before facing us today. So yeah, it was going to be a difficult one, but we got through it. We got the win, we got the clean sheet, and really big performance from the boys and a few key players who I'll talk about towards the end of this video. But of course, before I get into breaking down the game, please do hit subscribe if you're not already. Hit the like button as well to help support my content. And a big thank you to those already doing so as well. The channel's seen some good growth over my first month or so in doing this. So yeah, really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the game, because first 20 minutes or so, it was, as you'd expect, we had a lot of possession, but Brentford were difficult to break down. We weren't getting too many quality openings, and the game was just kind of, in that ebb and flow phase where players are feeling it out, trying to get a grip on the game. But Brentford showed it quite early on. I think there was a set piece where it got whipped in from their goalkeeper, headed in by Pinnock, and there was a bit of ping ball where they didn't really capitalise on it. It trickles out of play harmlessly, but early signs of, set pieces were always going to be a strong point for Brentford. The first 20 minutes or so as well, Nunez standing out to me, it was quite clear he was our outlet. We were trying to get the ball to him a lot, but for some reason wasn't quite on the same wavelength with the players trying to play him in. A lot of attempts where we're playing the ball through for Nunez, and it's played one way and he's gone the other, and it's just the chemistry wasn't quite linking up for him for whatever reason early on. But as you'll see as we talk through the rest of the game, it obviously did start to click into gear a bit more. We also get very lucky, actually. A Trent giveaway in the box isn't punished. I think it was Wisser, it drops to, fires wide in the end. But yeah, cheap giveaway, and that was always going to be the threat for us. We were going to have a lot of possession, but Brentford were going to look for those breaks. They were going to look to pounce on mistakes, and thankfully that one doesn't go against us. But then we start to really take control, really carve out some opportunities. We have 2 goals ruled out for offside, both scored by Darwin Nunez. The first one comes from a Szoboszlai, actually miscued effort, which falls to Nunez, controls it well, and finishes, I think, in off the post, but ruled out for offside, literally a toe. It's a fraction of the decision. VAR takes a little time to get to it, but listen, they get it correct at the end of the day. It's an annoying one when it's off by like a toe. It's such a fraction of a decision, but offside is offside. They get the right call, and that's what we want to see. Okay, it's a bit slow, but they get the right decision, and a goal is correctly decided on offside. We've had our run-ins with those before where they make the mistake, but correct decision. And then again, a few moments later, a Van Dijk header save falls to Nunez, who kind of drops in front of him. He flips into an overhead kick and scores. Quality finish, but offside again, correct call, but good to see for his confidence. He's taken 2 chances, having missed quite a few against Luton last weekend, so positive for us. The confidence starts growing. Ball drops to Jota just after the half-hour mark. He can't quite connect and turn it in, and we're really getting a few opportunities. I think then there's another one where we actually do finally take the lead. Actually, it's Trent feeding into Nunez, plays in Salah, steps inside and just curls it into the far corner for 1-0. That Nunez and Salah combination really coming to strength for us again. I think even now, all of Nunez's Premier League assists, I think he's now probably up to 10 or so. I'd put a rough guess out there for that sort of number in the Premier League since he started, and all for Salah. So really a good connection forming between the two of them, going from strength to strength, and it puts us in front. Finally capitalise on the opportunities we're having in the first half, and then confidence continues to grow. Added time, we have Nunez fire at Flecken. Another one where Jota wins in the box, can't quite turn it in. He recycles it to Trent, who clips in for Salah, can't keep the shot down. Another one, Salah plays Nunez clean through a huge recovery from Collins to stop him being one-on-one. So the chance is really there for us in the first half. and really positive to see. But like with the Trent mistake early on, there's also another one, long ball over the top, sent Mbuemo through around 32nd minute or so, I think I had it down, and Alisson makes a huge save. So my half-time thoughts were strong half, 2 offsides stop us from going further ahead, a couple of good saves from Flecken, but at the other end, just got to be aware of that break, aware of giving away silly opportunities to Brentford, who remain dangerous. And of course, only 1-0. The aim for the second half was just more of the same, but start, turning the screw on them a little bit. Don't let it grow and get shaky as the game goes on. Second half comes out, not a lot to talk about for the first sort of 10 minutes or so, but then first real talking point is a potential red card check against Endo. VAR, I think, correctly decides it's a 50-50 challenge. Both players have slid in, and I think the thing that benefits Endo in this situation as well is there's not a lot of speed on contact. I think 2 words I would use to describe these kind of challenges. You look at either a lunge or a slide. I think the fact that he's a slide in, not a lot of speed and force on it, compared to someone who maybe had to cover a bit more distance to try and make the tackle in the first place, having to lunge, and then you run a lot more risk of a red card, I feel. But VAR's had a look, decided correct decision. Thomas Frank, the Brentford manager, not very happy about it, but I think the right call made. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. And then, another bit of sloppiness sees Brentford in on goal. Szoboszlai misplaces a pass, and Mbuemo's clean through, and genuinely looks like one where he's going to get all the way in and slot in one-on-one. But Van Dijk comes across brilliantly, just ushers Mbuemo out of the way, and I think puts it out for a corner in the end. But really, really solid defending from him. That's what we want to see from Van Dijk. That's what we've grown to know from Van Dijk over the years. He's not always been the kind that runs in recklessly for a tackle. Like, he's the kind that just uses his strength, takes people off the ball, really composed, and that was brilliant to see from him again. And then, we get the second goal just minutes later as well. So Key defending at one end, and then we go and get the second to get that cushion for us, ease the nerves a bit. Good build-up, sees Tsimikas played in through by Jota, and he just about keeps the ball in play to cross it over for Salah, who heads in at the far post for 2-0. Poor defending, I have to say, from Brentford. They do switch off for that moment, kind of questioning whether the ball's gone out, but you've got to play to the whistle, you've got to stay alert. And in the end, it's a pretty much free header for Salah at the far post. So, Flecken tries to recover, but can't quite get there. And 2-0 Liverpool. Then the confidence kind of steps up again a gear. Brilliant bit of play, I think. Van Dijk plays a cross-field ball, probably 50, 70 yards to find Salah, who then crosses for Nunez. It's just over him, and Flecken's able to gather. But again, confidence oozing from Liverpool. Really, really good build-up play. I think it was great today. We've had a few goals where, moments where we look really strong on the break, the counter-press kind of thing, but maybe have lacked moments where we have a bit more build-up play. So seeing things like that, the second goal we scored today, positive. We need a bit more of that, especially against teams that are going to, protect against those counters really well. We need a bit more intricacy, a bit more build-up, and that was good to see there again. And then 3-0, not long later, Tsimikas lays off to Jota, comes inside and kills an absolute beauty. And not much else to talk about from that point onwards to the end of the game. Van Dijk clears one from under the bar. Alisson makes a good save as well. We see it out, we keep the clean sheet, and overall really, really solid performance. Key players for me, I have to say, I mentioned Van Dijk a few times. I think last season we were a poor team overall, but he in particular came under a lot of criticism. People start looking at his age, start saying maybe that injury a few seasons back have done him in. They think he's finished. He's really, really shown this season. He's coming back up to the level we know. He sets such a high bar for himself that it's often quite difficult, and you come under a lot of scrutiny when people hold you to such high standards. But he is looking immense again. He was, really, really solid at the back today to stop Brentford being more threatening, perhaps, in this game, causing more issues. And then the other one I have to give to Tsimikas. After the Toulouse game itself, I questioned, is he going to be starting today? Because he hasn't done himself too much credit. He was hooked off at halftime in that game, gave away a goal, and also just generally poor showing. But he stepped it up today, was solid at both ends of the pitch defensively. And Mbuemo, of course, the right of Brentford's front two, attacking him quite a lot on that side. He did really well, I think, to cope with probably Brentford's strongest player. Of course, had Van Dijk for support. But then at the other end of the field as well, gets 2 assists today, and that's brilliant. We need our fullbacks getting involved. We need creativity from different areas of the pitch. So he was solid. Liverpool, really solid, big win. Like I say, lifts the mood for Liverpool fans now going into the international break. And our first game back after the international break in 2 weeks is away to Man City. So yeah, that will be probably a big game to give us more of an indication of where we might be able to stand in the going the distance this season. But yeah, brilliant performance. We need more of these from the Reds. And yeah, one filled me with massive confidence. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on how solid a performance that was from Liverpool. Who are your standout players? Who would you give man of the match to? I think for me, Salah was obviously incredible, scores 2 goals, but I'm going to go with Tsimikas at both ends of the field. Influential, gets a couple of assists, and I think it can be great and quite natural from a player to go from putting maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10 performance to an 8 or a 9 and get all the plaudits. But for a player to go from delivering maybe 3 to 5 out of 10 performances to pick it up and go and do a 7 or 8 out of 10 performance, it's a lot harder. And I think credit is due to Tsimikas for that. So he would be my man of the match. Let me know who yours would be. And yeah, let me know what you think of the Reds going in at least second in the international break. But do you think we can go the distance? And of course, until the next one, take care.